1. Hey everybody, Nathan Dunham, Alan Stockton. It's time for another episode of Halftime Heroes, brought to you by Stockton and Stockton Attorneys at Law. And as you can see, we've got two pretty special guests today.
If you don't know if we have to introduce them, then you have no idea what Rabun County High School and Rabun County Athletics is about.
That is correct.
Janice Wayne and Gail Crowe, they have been a part of Rabun County basically my entire life. And, we say this a lot, this is long overdue doing this interview.
Yes.
This one isn't long overdue because we actually did it the other day. But we had some technical difficulties.
Our memory card did not do what it was supposed to do.
So this is round 2.
That's
but
right.
We'll get better with practice. If anybody knows anything about practice, these two do.
That's right.
There you go.
That's right. This is what happens when you just show up.
But Coach Wayne, Janice Wayne, taught me in English most of my high school career, it seemed like. What year did you first come?
76.
And you've coached JV basketball, cross country,
8th grade, tennis, softball.
Now, did you do track or?
I helped Gail.
Okay.
Yeah, I was assistant.
Then Gail Crowe, Coach Crowe. When did you first get here to 70?
70 was when your first year, wasn't it, Gail? And then started coaching in 73.
And you've taught PE, coached basketball with a head basketball coach for years. Both of y'all have operated as the trainer for the football team too. There's, we talked last time at the unsuccessful interview that y'all never got to go home after school.
Not till dark.
Yeah,
That's right.
But when did y'all finally retire?
I retired in 2014. Gail retired in officially in 13, but she retired 7 years before that from her teaching, and then was hired 49% as athletic trainer.
I just never not remember y'all. From the time I was in youth league sports, I never remember there not being the two of y'all involved in Rabun County athletics in some capacity.
Yeah. Well, see, Gail actually started in the in the rec program back when it was community programs with Tiger, and she was with the Tiger team.
So there wasn't a county rec program then?
It was, but it was like by communities. Rabun Gap had a team, Clayton had 2 teams, Tiger had a team, and that's where she started coaching and was so successful. Those parents wanted her to just move into the high school when those kids got to the high school.
And was she coaching basketball?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, basketball. It was basketball.
I think you told, we talked a little bit last time about how you ended up here. Now, Coach Crowe's from Dahlonega, and you're from Atlanta.
I'm from Atlanta, but I went to school in Dahlonega. Played basketball at North Georgia, and looking for a job. I didn't want to go back to Atlanta.
I was going to say, so how did you end up in Rabun?
So just luck of the draw.
Really?
Yep. Gail needed a JV coach, and we had met at North Georgia, and so I got lucky. I got lucky.
Coach Crowe's already up here.
She was already up here in 73, and in 76 I graduated and got lucky.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And that's just so interesting that were you familiar with Rabun County before that, or I guess she was here first?
Just visiting every now and then, but just it was wild.
Rabun County.
Good ride.
Rabun County in the 70s is a lot different than Rabun.
Oh yeah.
Oh, for sure.
And we remember back to the success that Coach Bird had with the women's basketball program, but the success with the women's basketball program actually started way back with y'all.
Oh yeah.
And back when our boys weren't producing like the girl, we always had a very competitive girls program.
Yeah,
didn't we?
We really did.
How many full rides or scholarship basketball players did y'all?
I think we counted up the other day 7 or 8. 8 counting Sherry Stockton, which we didn't have her as a varsity player, but
you raised her.
Yeah, yeah. I had her in middle school, and then Gail had her as a JV player. But I think 8 girls.
Who?
You want me to name them?
Yeah, Sherry.
Sherry was the last one. Lanita Shirley, Luann Kraft, who Cunningham now.
Cunningham, yes.
Lynn Alley Hickox. Oh gosh, Gail, help me. We were talking about it coming in here, so we wouldn't forget them. Don Shaw,
right.
Kim James, Cody, Sonia Passmore.
I think that's 7.
Is that 7? There's one missing.
But that was at a time when
girls didn't get full rides. No.
That was a time when Raven County athletes didn't get scholarships a lot anyways. I mean, back then, even, you know, a lot in the 80s, there were a couple of football players that got scholarships. But as a whole, Raven County athletes were not going to college on scholarships for athletics.
There's a lot of talented kids in Raven County. Homegrown talent. And hard workers. Everybody was always a hard worker.
Is that what you attribute to? Because, I mean,
it
doesn't matter what era it is, we're always undersized.
Oh, yeah.
The hard working is what
the work ethic.
pushes it.
The work ethic is the big thing around here.
And that's across all sports.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
What about how our facilities have?
Oh, my. Isn't it awesome?
I mean, when y'all started,
We
just
started the old gym.
Yeah.
My 8th grade teams practiced in the cold in the old gym.
It was just dismal at best.
Oh, yeah.
We really thought we had something. Then we had the new high school.
When we went to the new school, yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I've heard Coach Crowe yell at somebody, get off the floor with those boots on.
Isn't that the truth?
I want to say we had.
Don't walk across that gym floor.
Did we have carpet at Clayton Elementary in the gym?
Yes.
I thought so. I mean, right now it's a storage facility for the city of Clayton, like vehicles and stuff. It's like a shop.
Oh, you talking about the yellow building?
Yeah, he's talking about the yellow building.
yeah, we used to call that the yellow building.
But I still remember shooting a basketball to show the ring.
Yeah, they made the gym out of it, but that building. Were y'all here when the old high school burned? And then it flooded. Well, there was a flood, and then the old high school.
The burn was before my time. The flood, that's what's odd. The flood was the weekend before I graduated from college. And I happened to be up here because I was up here for a job interview. And this is weird. Sally Wilson, who taught with us, and another teacher, and Gail and I were riding around, and we came up on the parking lot at the Clayton Elementary, and it was flooded. And we all went, oh my gosh, the yellow building's going to flood. And we actually got in there and got books up and put them up on the desk and stuff. And then we couldn't get out because the outside water had rose and it's coming in the door. And somehow a fireman showed up at the door and opened the door and we got out.
Really?
Yeah, it was crazy. And that was the weekend before I graduated from college.
Well, I remember.
Welcome to Raven County.
Yeah, thank you.
I remember going through the elementary school that next day, and there was a high water mark on the walls. That was, of course, I was 6 or 7 years old, but it was as high as that that chair rail.
Really?
See, that's when we decided we better get out of here because the water was getting above the outlets on the wall. It was crazy.
Well, we get the new high school, and we thought that was the best thing ever.
Yeah.
But would you ever imagine what we've got now, facility-wise?
We're better than some small colleges.
Yeah.
We really are. It's beautiful.
I remember taking somebody through the weight room that played away from here, and they said, this is as good as Buford's weight room.
Oh, yes. Exactly.
I think you may have taught me weight training once. You did weight training too, didn't you?
She did.
How many kids do you think y'all have taught over the years?
Oh God! We better remember that question. Thousands. I mean, I really. It's hard to say with 80 years of experience right here, plus 37 years of swimming lessons.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That
was.
Oh gosh, thousands.
Yeah. If you grew up in Raven County and know how to swim, there's a 30%, if not a 50% chance that they taught you.
Unless your daddy just threw you in the water.
Yeah. But not just taught, but coached. I mean, how many different kids you think you coached?
Oh gosh.
No, there's no telling.
No.
Well, what are you doing now? How's retirement?
Traveling as much as possible.
Y'all been all over the place.
I have an RV and load the dogs up. I load the dogs and I chauffeur them around. We've been to all 50 states. So.
But you didn't take the RV to.
No, not to Alaska or Hawaii. No.
Alaska's doable.
Yeah, it would be.
That'd still be
Still a long haul.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
But yeah, I keep up with y'all on Facebook, and if y'all aren't cooking out by a fire or dealing with dogs, you're traveling somewhere, but you still got your motorcycles.
We do. We haven't ridden a whole lot lately. Matter of fact, I'm about ready to trade mine in for a Jeep.
Now, Coach Crowe, you've recently found out you've got Parkinson's.
Mm-hmm.
But I noticed you walked in here a lot faster than you did last time. You look real good today. But you seem to be handling it very well. And you seem to be handling it very well.
It is what it is. My daddy always said, do the best you can with what you have. So that's I've always lived by that.
What all did you teach?
Well, there wasn't a PE job when I was hired, so I got certified in the gifted program, and language arts was one of my favorite subjects. So we did that with the gifted program, and inherited the school newspaper, which you worked on.
Yeah,
you did a great job. That was fun. Inherited the school newspaper and did that my first 7 years, and then PE job came open, so I was able to go back to my first love.
How many principals did y'all deal with?
8 or 9 or 10, no telling.
Who was your favorite?
A lot of turnovers.
I won't ask about the ones that weren't your favorite, but who was your favorite principals? All the ones you did.
Leland
with?
Ishman was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of everybody's favorites.
I always heard that he was just really about school spirit.
Oh, and the kids.
Yeah.
He was the one that if you had perfect attendance, you get a half a day off.
Really?
At the end of a grading period. Yeah.
Buff Green only gave us a $2 bill. I think I trade that for the half a day off. I hate to cut us short, but I think we're way over time.
Oh no.
Well, it's way overdue.
That's right.
Get these ladies in here, and it's a great honor to have y'all here.
No, it's our honor. We really appreciate the recognition.
We should have recognized this y'all sooner, but it's just as the program's evolved. But look at it this way: if we'd done it sooner, you would have been on radio as opposed to.
That's right. Now they get to see your.
As I always said, I got paid to play.
Yeah.
That's what I've always told everybody. I've always gotten paid to play, and I have enjoyed it. And Gail too. She's always enjoyed it.
Well, thank you so much for all the many years y'all have given us.
Well, thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Well, that's going to do it for another episode of Stockton in Stockton. Thanks everybody for watching. Don't forget, this is another episode of Halftime Heroes brought to you by Stockton in Stockton 702-6100. 6100. I'll get it memorized eventually.
I'm not going to say one call, that's all.
We'll come up with the tagline eventually. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you guys next week.